Good evening and welcome to a brand new week on the State of Business. I'm Nishani Piguera. First, let's take a look at tonight's headlines. Public-private partnerships essential for Sri Lanka, says Deputy Minister Iran Wickramaratne. And Telecommunication and Digital Infrastructure Minister outlines ambitious targets for a digital revolution in Sri Lanka. Chief of Air Staff of Pakistan's Air Force, Air Chief Marshal Sohail Aman, called on Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Temple Trees this afternoon. Air Chief Marshal Sohail Aman arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday on a two-day official visit on invitation of the commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force, Air Marshal G.P. Bulat Sinhala. The visit is expected to provide both sides an opportunity to review ongoing cooperation and collaboration and to discuss ways and means to enhance continued cooperation between the two countries. Deputy Minister for Public Enterprise Development, Iran Wickramaratne, opines that Sri Lanka should seek increasing private partnerships for development projects for the reasons of viability and accountability. Deputy Minister Iran Wickramaratne said this speaking at the recently concluded Sri Lanka Economic Summit 2016.
Government needs the partnership of the private sector because it needs capital. That's one reason. It needs capital. The other interesting thing about PPPs is that this is a commitment for long-term capital. And as you know, our problems generally stem in the area that we don't have long-term capital, neither do we have deep debt markets. You have a project, you go to the banks, and we are still struggling basically with providing you with short tenor debt or short tenor funding. So PPPs, that's the other advantage in it. The other is technology and entrepreneurship. This is not to be underemphasized. You see, in a statist system, you really cannot get entrepreneurship. In a statist system, you really cannot get people thinking in those very creative ways because the environment and the incentives don't match up to it. And if we are really going to change the game here, right, the partnership with the private sector is an absolute must and absolutely essential. Otherwise, we will be fooling ourselves.
In more news tonight, health officials say the newly effective colour code system for sugar levels of bottled drinks will be strictly implemented in the country. Health Services Director General Dr. Palit Mahipala said stern action will be taken under the Food Safety Act against manufacturers and importers who do not comply with the set requirements. The Ministry of Health and Indigenous Medicine introduced colour codes to display sugar levels of all bottled drinks under the Food Act effective from August 1st. All locally produced and imported bottled drinks such as soft drinks and fruit drinks that are marketed in cans, bottles and packets, excluding milk, should display a red label in all three languages when the sugar level exceeds 11 grams in every 100 milliliters. A green label should be displayed for drinks which contain 2 grams or less per 100 milliliters. Mid-level sugar content between 2 and 4 grams per 100 milliliters should be indicated with a yellow label.
අගෝස්තු මාසේ පළවෙනිදා ඉඳන් ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන නිසා අගෝස්තු මාසේ පළවෙනිදාන් පස්සේ කිසිම නිෂ්පාදනයක් වෙළඳ පොළට එවන්න බෑ. ඊට කලින් ආපුවා තියෙන්න පුළුවන් ටික කාලයක්. අපි ගත්ත තීරණය තමයි අගෝස්තු පළවෙනිදාන් පස්සේ ලේබලේ නැතුව කිසිම බීම වර්ගයක් වෙළඳ පොළට එවන්න බෑ කියන එක. බීම වර්ග ඉතා දිගු කල් නැති නිසා ඒකේ ෂෙයාරීමේ කාලය ඒ නිසා තව සුමාන කීපයක් ගියාම ආයේ කිසිම දෙයක් ඉතුරු වෙන්න විදිහක් නැහැ වෙළඳ පොළේ. අපි මේකෙදී ට්‍රැෆික් ලයිට් කියලා කියන්නේ අපි දන්නවා රතු කොළ කහ මේ පාට තුනක් තිබෙනවා. අන්න ඒ විදිහට අපි සීනි මට්ටම අපි අර්ථ දක්වලා තිබෙනවා. ඒතර ඒ අර්ථ දැක්වීම අනුව ඒ පාට සඳහන් කළ යුතුයි කියන එක තමයි ඒ කියන්නේ. දැන් මේක රටේ නීතිය මේක ක්‍රියාත්මක කළ යුතුයි. මේ සඳහා අපි සෞඛ්‍යවෛද්‍යවරුන් හරහා පලාස්සා දිස්ත්‍රික්ක අධ්‍යක්ෂකවරුන් හරහා අපි දැනුම් දීලා තියෙනවා මේක ආරම්භ කරන්න කියලා මහජන සෞඛ්‍ය පරීක්ෂකවරුන්ට ඉදිරි සති දෙකක් අපි නම් කළා. ඒ සති දෙක ඇතුළත සියලුම ආපන ශාලා මේ රෙස්ටොරන්ට් මේවා විකුණන තැන් මේ සියල්ලම පරීක්ෂා කරන්න ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ මේ ක්‍රමවේදය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරනවාද කියලා බලන්න. අපේ ඉදිරි බලාපොරොත්තුව තමයි ලුණු සහ සංතෘප්ත මේද සඳහා මෙන්න මේ තත්ත්වෙම ගේන්න.
The State of Business will return with more news after this short break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching The State of Business. Minister of Telecommunication and Digital Infrastructure Harin Fernando says Sri Lanka has set ambitious targets to achieve in the field of information and communication technology by 2020. He said the plan will keep Sri Lanka by 2020 on par with systems implemented by developed nations while creating sustainable jobs through a digital revolution. Harin Fernando was speaking at the National Broadband Forum held in Colombo. The first Sri Lanka National Broadband Forum was themed A Better Connected Sri Lanka. The forum was co-hosted by the Ministry of Telecommunication and Digital Infrastructure and the Telecommunication Regulatory Commission and co-organized by Huawei. The forum served as a platform for industry dialogue, bringing together senior policymakers of the government, local operators, service operators and industry stakeholders to share agenda of facilitating broadband rollout as the key component to digital economy in Sri Lanka. Telecommunication and Digital Infrastructure Minister Harin Fernando spoke on the national broadband vision for Sri Lanka at the forum.
Sri Lanka is going to be revolutionizing this whole digital space in this region, as well as we are going to be one of the top nations in the digital revolution. As you know, we are in the process of introducing an HTM, a household transfer management, a digital card, which is a digital key, which will be carried by every citizen. And also the LGN, the local government network, for all the government officers with a 100 Mbps connection, which is going to be, some may say, quite ambitious to have such a big speed. Whether we have enough cars to go on that road, but I'm sure we have to build the highway and the cars will come to go in those highways. But why do we want to be so ambitious? It is because we see the potential in Sri Lanka. The roadmap that we have for Sri Lanka in the future, we currently have a program of 100 digital classrooms, but similarly for next year we want 100 schools in those digital classrooms from grade 9 onwards, every child to have a fully enabled tab. So this is something we need to develop. We want every midwife in Sri Lanka to carry a tab, have all the patients and all the details on the tab. So for all this, most certainly we need better connectivity.
The minister also responded to questions about the national telecommunications service provider and its monopoly in high-speed internet affecting price competition.
There's a monopoly with SLT, even though SLT comes under me, and I completely believe there should be market forces that should actually take this over, and we're trying to develop another company, I mean government-owned, semi-government-owned, to compete with SLT itself. And I've told SLT, fall in line or else this will be formed. Because SLT also sometimes feel that they are very comfortable because they're the only person in the market and who's doing it. So it all works in their mind. So we need to play this. It took us about a year to realize how we want to play this. So we've got the approval from certain sectors of how we want to move ahead. So we're working on that.
The Dialog Group says it closed the first half of 2016 on a strong note, delivering growth across mobile, digital, pay television, tele-infrastructure and fixed-line businesses. The group had recorded consolidated revenue of 42.2 billion rupees for the 6 months ending 30th June 2016, posting a growth of 20% on a year-to-year basis. The group, however, said performance during the second quarter was significantly impacted with the introduction of value-added tax and nation-building tax on mobile and fixed telecommunications, as well as DHT pay TV services with effect from 2nd May 2016. Group revenue was recorded at 21.1 billion rupees for the second quarter, showing a decline of 0.4% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. The Dialog Group says it continued to be a significant contributor to state revenues, remitting a total of 16.9 billion rupees in the first half of this year through direct taxes and levies, as well as consumption taxes collected on behalf of the government. At an entity level, Dialog Asiata PLC, featuring the mobile, international and tele-infrastructure segments of the group portfolio, made a revenue of 35.6 billion rupees for the first half of this year, surging 19% compared to the first half of 2015. However, the company revenue decreased by 2% quarter-on-quarter to record 17.7 billion rupees in the second quarter of the year. After this short break is a stock watch. Do stay with us for that. Welcome back to the State of Business. The market opened the week on a mixed note, with Nestle Lanka, Sri Lanka Telecom and Ceylon Tobacco dragging the ASI down, while the S&P marginally gained points due to increases in John Keells Holdings and Ceylon Cold Stores. Foreign investors remained as net buyers, with interest present on Sampath Bank, Distilleries and Texture Jersey. The All Share Price Index dipped 10.2 points to close at 6,506.93, while the S&P SL20 gained 0.03 points to close at 3,531.39. Turnover for the day amounted to 372.9 million rupees, with 26.9 million shares trading hands. The top traded counters were Distilleries with 51.7 million rupees, John Keells Holdings 22 million rupees, Lion Brewery 20.7 million rupees, Texture Jersey 15.6 million rupees and Sampath Bank 14.9 million rupees. Foreign inflows amounted to 135.7 million rupees, while foreign outflows totaled 94.4 million rupees. And now let's take a look at the day's forex rates. And with that, we sign off for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching. Good night.